It doesn't happen the way people think it happens. Nobody wakes up one morning and decides to stay poor. Nobody sits down, reviews their options, and consciously selects financial stagnation as their preferred outcome. The moment doesn't feel like a decision at all. It feels like a Tuesday. She is sitting on her sofa. It is 7:43 in the evening. She has just finished dinner. Her phone is in her hand the way it always is, and she is scrolling through nothing in particular, the way she always does at this hour. The day was long. The week has been longer. And somewhere in the soft, tired part of her brain, a thought surfaces. She deserves a break. Not a real break, not a vacation, not a day off, not anything that requires planning. Just a small one. The kind that costs $40 and arrives in a box 2 days later. The kind that feels like a reward for having gotten through another week of showing up and doing everything that was asked of her. She opens the app. She finds the thing. Her thumb hovers. She buys it. This is the moment. This exact one. Not because $40 is catastrophic. It is. Not because she bought something unnecessary. She does this occasionally. Everyone does. The moment is significant not because of what she spent, but because of what was happening in the 30 seconds before she spent it, and the 10 years of Tuesdays that will follow the exact same pattern. She was tired. She felt she deserved something. The path of least resistance pointed towards spending, and she followed it without a single moment of friction between the feeling and the purchase. This sequence, tired, deserving, spend, is the most common financial pattern in the developed world. It runs on autopilot for most people from their mid-20s onward. And what makes it so effective at producing long-term financial stagnation is not any single instance of it. It is the accumulation. $40 every Tuesday for 10 years is $20,000, not spent on one thing she wanted. Spent on the aggregate of small moments where the feeling of deserving something was stronger than any competing priority. The competing priority, in most cases, was not depriving herself. It was not sacrifice. It was not the difficult, joyless discipline that financial advice often implies is required to build wealth. The competing priority was simply a pause, a 2-second interruption between the feeling and the action, long enough for a different thought to arrive. What if I waited until tomorrow? Not forever, not never, just tomorrow. Because the research on impulse spending is consistent and has been for decades, the feeling of deserving a reward, in the absence of any friction, converts into a purchase 70% of the time within 15 minutes of the feeling arising. But when a pause of any length is introduced, even writing down the item instead of buying it, even adding it to a wish list instead of a cart, the conversion rate drops to under 30%. Most of the time, tomorrow, the thing doesn't feel as necessary. The pause is not discipline. It is design. It is building a small structural delay into the path between feeling and spending. And it costs nothing except the momentary discomfort of not immediately resolving a feeling with a purchase. She does not know this on that Tuesday. She knows she is tired. She knows the week was hard. She knows the thing in the app is available and affordable and will arrive in 2 days and will feel, for a brief moment, like evidence that she is taking care of herself. She buys it. The package arrives. She opens it. It is fine. It is what she thought it would be. For approximately 45 minutes it produces the feeling she was looking for. Then it becomes another object in her apartment, and the feeling is gone, and Tuesday arrives again next week in exactly the same form. The money that moved from her account to the retailer did not build anything. It did not invest in her future comfort. It converted a feeling into an object, temporarily resolved a state of tiredness, and left no trace except a slightly lower balance and a slightly higher tolerance for the next time the same sequence runs. Here is what changes everything, and it is not a budget, and it is not a spreadsheet, and it is not a system with 15 categories. It is one habit applied to one specific moment. When she feels the tired and deserving feeling arise, she does not fight it. She does not tell herself she cannot have things. She picks up her phone and she moves the amount she was about to spend in that moment immediately into her savings account first. If she still wants the thing tomorrow, she can buy it from the savings account. She has simply changed the sequence. Instead of spend then save whatever is left, she saves, then decides if she still wants it. Most of the time, the next day, she doesn't transfer the money back. Not because she has more willpower, because the feeling has passed and the money has already moved, and moving it back requires more friction than leaving it where it is. This is the entire mechanism, not a philosophy, not a mindset shift. One moment, one habit, one redirect, applied to the specific Tuesday evening when the tired deserving spend sequence runs for the 1,000th time. The moment most people choose to stay poor is not dramatic. It is $40 on a Tuesday evening when they are tired and feel they deserve something. The moment they choose differently is the same moment, same tiredness, same deserving feeling, same phone in hand. Different thumb movement,